Hi there. We're going to review a little bit of what we did prior to vacation. We had done some lessons, some practice, some small group work regarding multiplication and distribution. And this video covers the basics, the nuts and bolts of those elements of those lessons. It's here as a review because I know that people sometimes forget some of the rules and what you do in certain situations, some of the procedures. So this is going to be a good one to kind of keep and go back to at different times. Okay, we're talking about multiplication and distribution, and the basics that we learned was some of the things x plus x, when you add like terms, it's 2x. But when we multiply x times x, it's x squared. And to go back to something that I didn't say at the beginning, I'm not giving you, in a sense, guided notes. I want you to take these notes down in the area that you've got on your paper. Just kind of free notes. I need you to start working on those to take down. So x plus x gives us 2x, but when we multiply x times x, we get x squared. Now, 2x plus 3x will give us 5x. X squared times x to the third gives us x to the fifth. Okay, we add the exponents here when we're multiplying there. Now I'll add one more. 2x times 3x. What do we get when we, here 2x plus 3x is 5x. 2x times 3x equals 6x squared. 2 times 3 is 6, x times x is x squared. One last one I'll have you take down over here. How about x to the second plus x to the third? Here we multiplied them and got x to the fifth. Well, adding them together, we can't do it. This is your answer. They're not like terms, so we cannot add them together. So x squared plus x to the third, that's as simple as you can get it. Okay? Then we also did this. So we have x times x plus 3. Okay? This is a distribution situation where a lot of you do that to show and remind you that you are have two multiplications going on. X times x, we just did that, x squared plus 3x. X times 3 is 3x, and we have an addition piece right there that happens. This is our answer. This is our answer. These are not like terms. Even though they both have x's in them, they are not like terms. So we can't add those together. Next one. 2x squared times x to the third minus 4x. All right. Distribute, right? 2x squared times x to the third. Looks a little complicated, a lot of stuff flying around in this one. It's 2, because 2 times 1, there's a 1 right there. X squared times x to the third is x to the fifth, as we saw right here. Okay, so 2x to the fifth. We got a minus here. The minus travels down, or you can consider it 2 times negative 4, and that's going to be minus 8. Then we have x squared times x, x to the third. Okay, and make sure we keep track of our negative. That's real important. And those are the like terms. Sorry, they're not like terms, so we can't subtract them in this case. Okay, and that becomes our answer. That's the simplest form. When you multiply this times this, you get this. Okay, now we're going into the last part here, which as you move through your math life, you're going to hear teachers say, FOIL this. And foiling means it's also double distribution. That means you're going to distribute twice. And here's going to be the example. We did this one together last week, and before vacation in small groups, and it looks like this. X plus 3 times x plus 5. We're taking this and we're multiplying it by this. Okay? And so it's double distribution. It's this times this plus this, and this times this plus this. And here's how you might want to rewrite this. And I don't mind if you do this. It's a kind of an extra step, but I think it helps sometimes. Take that x and show that you're multiplying that. We've only got addition here, so we're going to then kind of add. Everything's going to be by addition once we get through. Then we have this times this. And this is going to, by doing it this way, it's going to help when you start doing some factoring later on. Because at some point, some of you may see this and then have to connect it to this and go backwards. It's a later time, but I think it helps sometimes when we see this. So x times this, 3 times this. And now we have the double distribution. Okay? Some highlights. There are 4 multiplications going on. 4 things that are happening. Okay? So we do x times x, x squared, plus 5x. X times 5 is 5x. Plus 3 times x, plus 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, so we have 4 multiplications. That means we're going to have 4 terms. You have just FOILed this. You multiplied the firsts together, the outs, the ins, and the lasts. And that's why they call it FOIL. So now we have the 4 multiplications. Collect any like terms. And what you see, if you do it this way, is that you'll see in the middle that you'll see some like terms, all right? We have x's and x's. You can't add the x squareds or the terms without any variables in it. So we then go x squared plus 8x plus 15. 5x plus 3x is 8x. We've collected those like terms. Then we have this. This is your answer. It's a polynomial. We talked about this in the small group too, the idea of multiple terms. And that's what that is there. So when you go from here to here, this is your answer. When you multiply this times this, that's your answer. We call it foiling. So when you hear your teacher in the future say, FOIL this, or we're going to FOIL now, you're multiplying, it's double distribution, 4 multiplications there. It's important to show this step, I think, because sometimes teachers might give you partial credit. It's also helpful for yourself to see if you made a mistake.